Hello everybody, this is Claire Van Steenwyk coming to you from my home office, Crossroads with Van. I want to talk to you a little bit about all the stuff that's going on today. We've been noticing our new king, Mr. Biden, has decided that he can just rule by caveat by doing his little executive orders. He's done over 25 of those, and I think 40 other things that the executives affect them by. But most people don't understand that executive orders aren't laws. They actually believe that you have to obey them. One court has already ruled against his executive order as far as not deporting illegals from this country, because actually it's a law. And presidents don't have the authority to change laws. They can't just by caveat do these things. I know some of them think they can, but the real problem comes from back in the 1870s. When a lot of so-called, I guess you'd call them literate people, or the higher crust of America, got really infatuated with socialism at the time. And they promoted it. And that was what gave real birth to progressivism in this country, which was also promoted by Woodrow Wilson and Tom Dewey. And that's how we got what we have today. However, this past election, you've seen a lot of people come right out and say, we are socialists. And they're acting like socialists. Now, Mr. Biden promised people that he'd work across the aisle and he'd help everybody out. He's not doing that. We're losing thousands of jobs with what he's doing. We're less secure now because of what he's doing. He's trying to stopping the border wall construction. He's stopped the pipeline coming from Canada. You've got pipes sitting in storage places there now. Thousands of people have lost six-figure jobs because of this, which is going to affect smaller communities more than large ones, because a lot of those smaller communities in those areas have people that live in them that work on the pipeline. You're talking about communities with 300 or 400 people, some less than that. And they have 5 or 6 people working on the pipeline, say, in that community, but these people are making $125,000 to $250,000, $300,000 a year. And when they make that kind of money, we all know they spend it. Biden doesn't care about that. He really doesn't care about that any more than Congress cares about what they're doing with Pelosi, her new H.R. 1 bill, which she thinks she's going to take over all of the elections in the country, which by law she can't, because it's in the Constitution that they're run by the states. Well, they can pass certain things at the federal level, but they can't take everything over. But the real problem lies in us, the people. A lot of people were fooled by what they did this past year, just like people have been fooled over the decades or centuries from what's going on in this country. But our real major problem here is the moral fiber of our country in and of itself. We have lost our way in a lot of areas. Our founders, one founder was asked what it would take to maintain a republic, and he said a well-informed voter or electorate. Others say it'll take a moral and religious people to maintain this republic. Well, if you add all those together, what you have is a well-informed, moral, and religious people to maintain this republic. Most people in this country are not well-informed. If you really look at the morality of this country, it's not what it used to be even 20 years ago. And as far as religion goes, unfortunately, it's turned into more of a social gospel than it has faith in Jesus Christ. And in that stems our problems. We feel threatened in a lot of ways because of these things, and yet don't seem to be able to find a way back to fix them. I submit to you that if people would once again start turning to God and living by the rules God laid out for all mankind to live by, we would have then the strength internally to fight back. And by fighting back, I'm not talking about what they're accusing President Trump of. That's a whole other issue. By the way, they cannot impeach President Trump. He's not a sitting president. The Constitution calls to impeach a president, not a citizen. They can't censure a president. They tried that with Andrew Jackson back, I think, in the 1830s, and they had to repeal it. And when President Nixon was impeached, when he resigned, the impeachment process stopped. These people are out for blood. What they're trying to do is totally shred the United States Constitution, because in all truth, that's the only thing, that's the only document we have that protects us from socialism. So they figure if they find a way around all of this, that they can turn America into the United States of socialism, or the socialist states of the United States. That's what they want to do. Make no bones about it. The George Soroses and others like him want this. The globalists want this. In fact, when you really look at it, you have people in both parties that want this. A lot of people look at the two-party system as a uniparty now. They don't even believe it's two separate parties. And you can't really blame them for what some of these people do. You have those 10 yo-yos in the House vote to impeach President Trump. Now Liz Cheney, I guess, is getting her comeuppance in Wyoming, which she deserves. But we have to do our job here in Arizona and elsewhere in the states, because I know I get listeners that call me and write me from all over the country: Iowa, New York, Texas, New Mexico, and Florida, and elsewhere, New Hampshire, other places, even some from California. But it's really left up to all of us. We are the government, and we have to start acting like the government. We have to repeal what they're doing to us as people. They're infringing on our freedoms. Our freedom of speech, our freedom to assemble, our freedom to go to church, Second Amendment rights. But here's another thing they're doing right now, and they did it in this last election. Whether people want to admit they did it or not is not really relevant. They did it. They're violating our voting rights. Because if you really think about it, how we vote, who we put in office, dictates our rights. When you look at what Biden is doing back there and what Pelosi's trying and what Schumer wants to join her in, this election brought all this about. If Biden hadn't have been put in office, all of these things wouldn't be happening. All of the issues that Biden's removing, all the, say, executive orders he's repealing, all the gains we made at the border, the gains in energy, all the other things we've gained by the Trump administration, Biden's trying to erase from history. And this is happening as a result of an election, not as a result of not having the ability to assemble or go to church. This happened by our voting rights being infringed upon. This is what we have to fix. And we've got to fix it. The only way I know we can fix it is by removing all of the, what I call, as far as Republicans go, the Republicrats from office. In every state in this country, we've had people sitting and watching this. I just found out today that in the state of Texas, now think about how big that state is and how many people live there and are moving there. And big corporations are moving there. And they have laws against voter fraud, right? You know how many people they have in the department to watch over voter fraud in the whole state of Texas? One. I don't even know if Arizona has one. But I know we have fraud here. So my recommendation to all of you is get busy and do your rights. Exercise your rights. Exercise your duty and responsibilities of a U.S. citizen. Get up and get off and get some work done. Start doing your part. I know chatting on Facebook or Twitter or Rumble or MeWe or wherever else you go now, Codius, or what is that other one, Gab, is a lot of fun. But I also know that we have to reach out to other people that don't go to those places. And the only way you can do that is go out in public and talk to people. I was out walking the other day and a person recognized me and said, "Aren't you the guy that lives on Shamrock and Gable Hill?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I want to talk to you about that sign you have in your yard." And he said, I filed a complaint with the HOAs for you to have to take that sign down. It's a Trump sign. I said, "Yeah." He said, "Because you're not allowed to have signs in an HOA." So I straightened him out on my voting rights and my First Amendment rights of free speech, and that we'd already gone to the Secretary of State a few years back and cleared this up with the HOAs here. But he just doesn't like the sign. We so far have had, I think, 3 signs stolen and now 3 signs damaged. They put a go to jail card on the last sign I had of Trump on the front yard of both sides, and I took it off. I wish I had taken a picture of it and posted it, but I didn't. But this person I know is a Democrat just by what he's saying to me. These people don't like freedom. They don't like the exchange of free thought. And that's what freedom gives us. I know a lot of people think the great American dream is a house and a 2-car garage and a swimming pool and a new car in your driveway. I know they really believe that. But that's not what America was all about when it started. Think about the great American dream. The great American dream was had by people that had never been here or lived here. They were called pilgrims. They came here, their dream was to be free from the king in England and all of Europe, all the other monarchs in Europe. They wanted freedom. That's all they wanted. They wanted to be free to practice their religious faith. That was their American dream. And I submit to you that that is the American dream, freedom. Freedom is our dream. What you do with it is up to you. But freedom is the dream, because I'll tell you something, without your dreams, all you're going to have is nightmares. So I invite all of you to visit my Facebook page, Advanced Crossroads, or my other pages, like the ones we now have on Rumble, Advanced Crossroads. And we also have one on Gab at Advanced Crossroads. I've set these other ones up on Gab and on Rumble because I'm not so sure how much longer I'll be on YouTube or Twitter. So I invite all of you to visit us there. But get connected and start becoming active. It's up to you to make sure we don't have bad representatives in our state, county, city, and federal offices, or on school boards, or college boards. This is up to you. It's not up to everybody else. It's your responsibility. You are a citizen of the United States, and we have got to fight back. There are things we have to do that they can't do. Article 1, Section 9, anybody can read it in the Constitution. You'll find out what they can and can't do. But understand this. An executive order is not a law, does not have to be obeyed. You cannot tell a soldier to do something in the military that he knows he's not allowed to do by the rules of the military. Therefore, Biden's in the White House. I'll give him that. That's where he is. But he's not my president. I didn't vote for him. I don't trust the results of the election. I know a lot of other people don't. But I am an American citizen. I intend to fight back the way I can at the voting box and trying to get people to run. I'm asking all of you to do the same. Now remember, vanscrossroads.com and Vans Crossroads on Facebook. We hope to see you there. Or at one of the other sites. In fact, we just launched a new page called, No More Rhinos. So it's time for all of you to get with it too. But also remember, these rhinos are also Republic rats. So I want to thank you for viewing this and reading the article that'll go with it. God bless you. Have a great day. And remember, God has blessed America. It's up to us if this blessing continues. I want to thank you once again. God bless you. And just pass this on, okay? Thank you. Bye for now. Found the button.